Hello and welcome to Razzmatazz with Rashi. And today we have with us Arsh Sinha. He's a 13-year-old author who started blogging at the age of 7. He has written 2 books till now. He's very passionate about playing his keyboard and chess. He has won several awards at national Olympiads, public speaking, and creative writing. And today he is here with us with his second book. So, in this episode, we'll get to know a lot more about Arsh, his books, and his life. So, welcome, Arsh. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's lovely to have you back on this show.
Same here. Pleasure talking to you.
So I'll tell the audience that at the end of this episode, we'll have a question. And if you give the correct answer in the comments below, you will get a chance to win the mega prizes at the end of the season. You will get the answer in this episode itself, so watch it carefully. And don't forget to subscribe before you participate. So, Arsh, we are very curious to know a lot more about you and about the wonderful things that you do. So, tell us.
Yeah, so you've practically summed up everything about me, and I'll just add on to that.
Yeah.
So I'm Arsh, a 13-year-old avid bibliophile. I love reading books. I think I can eat, sleep, and drink books. If you
Great.
find me in a mall, I will most probably be in the bookstore,
Okay.
and all of my room's decor is mainly books.
Mhm.
And I like taking an experience of everything. I am a decent pianist, and I also love playing basketball. I can say that
Okay.
I'm somewhat a jack of all trades, trying to master some.
Mhm.
But two things I tell you have struck with me forever since a very, very young age are my hobbies of public speaking and creative writing. And over the years, I think they are like becoming my passion. I also
Okay.
like math and participate in various competitive exams and Olympiads. I like to give poems and speeches wherever I can, whether it be in school assemblies, colony get togethers, wherever. I also like writing, directing, and enacting in skits.
Nice. So tell us about the wonderful books that you have written so far. Like they are more into fantasy fiction, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, until last year, I did have a dream of writing
Mhm.
a book someday, but I
Okay.
never knew that it would come true in such a time. So, when I
Yeah.
was writing a fiction article for my blog, this
Mhm.
really intriguing plot struck me. And then chapter upon chapter just eased out of me with no effort, like it was
Mhm.
meant to be, especially with the free time and the restrictions of the lockdown.
Yeah.
And my first book, A Magical Conquest, was a fantasy fiction where a
Mhm.
young boy is sent to a school which he discovers teaches wizardry, and
Okay.
he soon finds out how the fate of the world rests in his hands. He,
Mhm.
along with two of his friends, carved a script of an unparalleled victory over the evil.
Mhm.
How? You can get to know by reading the book.
Yeah.
This is a copy of my first book.
Oh, wonderful.
And my second book, which is still under print, A
Mhm.
Meaningful Triumph, is a fantasy fiction thriller, and it
Mhm.
centers around a female teenage protagonist, Yuzi. She is a member of the kingdom of the Peacekeeper. The
Okay.
Peacekeeper was the man who maintained the balance and peace in the world against the wishes of the three conquerors who
Mhm.
wanted to struggle for monopoly of the rule of the world, but would
Okay.
destroy the world unknowingly in the process.
Mhm.
Now the peacekeeper has been brutally obliterated. The peace and well-being of the world rests in the hands of Yuzi. Will she be
Okay.
able to save the
Nice.
day? Do read the book to find out.
Yes, definitely we will. So these are some great ideas. Like, where do you get these all ideas from? Like, tell us about your writing journey. Like, when did you start writing? What was the first thing that you ever wrote?
So my writing journey started, as said, around the age of 67 in grade one when
Okay.
I first made my blog.
Mhm.
So the inspiration came from my mother, and hats
Okay.
off to her for guiding me every step of the way.
Yeah.
So anyway, on my blog, I published the poems and the compositions that I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, I discovered how I could do so much more when I excelled in
Mm-hmm.
school competitions on the basis of creative writing and public speaking. And I
Okay.
like to write in the fiction genre,
Mm-hmm.
mainly interesting stories with suspense and mystery.
Yeah.
And overall, I just try to compose some out of the box elements to make the
Yeah.
story interesting for both me to write and the reader to
Mhm.
read.
Yes.
And my stories are often inspired by what I see around me, like my surroundings.
Hmm. Okay. Like I've seen a very some very good reviews that are coming up for both of your books, and the main thing that they're talking about are the twists. That it's like a page turner. Like every it ends with a twist and then again begins with something new. So people
Yeah,
are
that's what
loving the
I
way
was
you write.
aiming at. That's what I was aiming at to make it interesting and not like
Yes.
some cliche book.
Yeah. So like apart from writing, what are you passionate about? Like what do you do when you're free?
To be honest, writing is what I love most.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I
Hmm.
also share a love for reading books. I read books of various genres and I
Hmm.
love to collect them in the various bookshelves I have in my room.
Okay.
And basically, the bookshelves are all the decor I have in my room. They're everywhere.
That's nice.
And I like to read all genres, but
Hmm.
mainly I'm most intrigued by mystery and suspense books.
Okay.
Some of my favorite series are Alex Rider, Michael Way, Phoenix Files,
Hmm.
apart from, the all-time classics, Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, and The Hobbit.
Okay.
And I also like public speaking, and my
Hmm.
mom trains me for that as
Okay.
she runs an academy regarding the same.
Yes.
I like to speak on various topics,
Hmm.
many times even impromptu, and love to
Hmm.
establish a connection with my audience.
Yeah.
I I love to anchor school assemblies and colony get-togethers
Okay. Yeah. That's
wherever I
nice.
get a chance, and I also like to participate in interstate and inter-school competitions to hone my skills.
Hmm. That's good. So, like, you're also going to school and you're doing so many other activities. So, when do you find that time to write? Like, when do you think about your stories and how do you write your books at such a young age?
So, so I mainly write either early morning or around the
Okay.
evening
Hmm.
because my school is from 7 to 3, and then after school there's a lot of homework and competition and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah.
So I often wake up early as I
Okay.
think it is anyway my most creative time around 5
That's
a.m.
nice. Hmm.
So I either write and plot whatever I want to at that time and then finish it in the evening when I get free, or I
Hmm.
just compose the whole thing in the evening.
Okay.
I look forward to like writing a lot on weekends and holidays,
Hmm.
especially now when the schools are closed for the Shara break. I've
Yeah.
written a lot of stories and poems in this break itself.
Okay. That's good. Okay, utilizing your holidays in a very good way then.
Yeah.
So there are many other like kids at your age who are, who aspire to become writers or who want to write. So do you have any tips to share or any advice you want to give to authors of your age?
Okay, so the only thing I'd like to say to them honestly is to just write freely, write whatever you want to, and do not
Mhm.
underestimate yourself. If you face any problem, and if you face any kind of a writer's block, just sleep over it, and the next day the
Mhm.
ideas start coming in.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
the journey is long, and there's lots to go, so just keep going.
Yes, that's beautiful advice that you have given to your friends. So how has your journey been so far? Like, are you loving it? Do you want to write more? What's your plans?
So the journey so far has been amazing. And it is such a morale boost when your
Mm.
friends, teachers, father's friends, mother's friends, and even
Yes.
strangers all like your books. And I still remember when I got
Yeah.
my first fan mail along with a drawing. Oh, I
Okay.
keep reading that over and over to
Yeah.
this day, and I'm being completely honest. And the adrenaline rush when
Yeah.
a dad's relative asks for a signed copy of my book
Oh, wow.
is honestly just beyond words.
Yes.
And I want to keep going, and I want to write more and more and expand my skills and learn different writing styles.
Okay, that's nice. So we are looking forward to more books from you then.
And I'm looking forward to writing them.
So, would you like to read something for us from your book?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
So I will be reading the first paragraph from the first chapter of my second book, A Meaningful
Okay.
Triumph.
Mhm.
The man in his 1700s wailed as he was terminated with one last blow of Zyl's mighty blade. The scene in the deserted desert of Atlantis was hellish, majorly due to the presence of the ruler of hell, Zyl. Zyl experienced not the slightest tinge of guilt. In fact, he was ecstatic, and that was natural, given that he could now carry out his conquest of the whole majestic world. Legend has it that there were, from the commencement of time, three celestial conquerors, Zyl, Nimidius, and Stellope. There was much demolition in each of their strive to triumph, and neither of them willed to control the world in conjunction. Thus, a peacekeeper was chosen and given the Orbis Maximus, meaning the orb of total control. He now possessed the potential of destroying each one of these conquerors. He assigned the underworld to Zyl, the ground to Nimidius, and the heavens to Stellopen.
Nice. That's a really interesting passage that I've read. And I'll tell the audience that we'll be sharing the links to both his books and his blogs in the description of this video. So definitely check his books. He's is a fantastic writer. Read his books and leave a very good review for him. And now we'll give a question to the audience. So Ash just talked about the two books that he has written so far. So you have to name any one of his books in the comments below. And if your answer is correct, you will stand a chance to win the mega prizes at the end of the season. So thank you so much, Arsh. It was really a pleasure talking to you and wish you all the best with all the things that you do.
Same here, last week.
Thank you.